guys, it's Curvy Girl Lee here and welcome to Curbside Trends. So today we're going to be doing something a bit different. In a few of my previous videos I mentioned how I have been losing a bit of weight, and the thing that helped me to do that, the thing that helped me the most was my changing the eating out habits that I had. I was the type of person that would easily eat out between 2 and 3 times a day, and now I'm actually eating out maybe once a week, so about 3 to 4 times a month. The main thing that has helped me do that and accomplish that goal is Home Chef. So Home Chef is a meal kit delivery service, and what they do each week, you can choose how many meals you want, how many servings of that meal that you like, and they will deliver the raw ingredients to your front door once a week for you to cook. It is very easy, proportioned out, and some of the meals actually come like one-pan meals where you don't even have to really cook. But me, myself, I'm actually a pretty good cook. I enjoy cooking. So typically I tend to go for the recipes that requires a little bit of cooking. However, there are some easier meals where you can just put everything in one pan and put it in the oven. I actually did a meal like that last week and it turned out pretty good. Anyway, so the way that it works, they do send you the raw ingredients and they send you recipe cards. Now, I have been doing this for a while, so I do have quite a few recipe cards and I collect them. You don't have to do that, but that is my preference because, like I said, I do enjoy cooking. So they send you a recipe card, you follow the simple recipe, and voila, you have a fabulous meal. Now, before we get into this, I will be dropping my code right here. And then also I will put the link to my code down below. And what that will do for you will give you $35 off your first meal. $35 off your first meal if you choose 2 servings. It's typically a free meal that will cover the actual meal as well as the shipping. So you get to try Home Chef for free with no obligations. So I definitely think that you should check it out.
Let's unpack this box. So inside of your box, you're going to have insulation that is going to help keep your ingredients cool and at the appropriate temperature, at the safest temperature. And then right on top, you will have your produce, your condiments, your seasonings, things that you will need, and they are all prepackaged in those bags. And then underneath that, you will have this ice block. That also helps to keep your meat at a good temperature, but it also just keeps the entire box cool. Separating your meat from your other ingredients is going to be that cardboard piece. And then you have here your meats. Now this is the most important step. Do not skip this step. I have done so a couple times. That is being sure to dig around the box and taking your recipe cards out. Now luckily the recipes are online, so if you do throw them away, no biggie, but I do prefer to keep mine. Most nights I will enjoy a nice glass of wine while I'm cooking. So there we are pouring our wine, and here we are turning on our under cabinet lights for the ability to see. You got to be able to see while you're cooking. So tonight we're going to be making scallops with lemon caper pasta. I do remember really enjoying this recipe, so this one was definitely a good one. I like to start off with rinsing off my ingredients that require rinsing. In this case, you're going to rinse off your scallops and then place them on a paper towel so they can be patted dry. You can't cook wet meat unless you're boiling it, obviously. But for things that are being seared or fried, you have to pat it dry to get that nice sear, that nice crunch. Now I'm going to be unbagging the remainder of my ingredients. That's going to be seasoned croutons, capers, lemon, linguine pasta noodles, sour cream, Mirepoix broth concentrate, baby spinach, and grated Parmesan. The first step here is going to be prepping our lemon for juicing as well as garnishing. So you're going to cut your lemon in half. The first half will be saved for juicing. The second half will be cut into quads, and that will be for garnishing as well as added flavor once the pasta cooks. Now I'm going to pat my scallop dry. Again, that is a very, very important step. Now after washing my hand, of course, I'm taking a large metal spoon and just crushing those croutons up as instructed. Now I will be seasoning my scallops with salt and pepper. I realized that my salt grinder was broken. I do have a new one now, but it was broken at that time. I had to pull out my grated Himalayan pink salt. but I do typically use a salt grinder as well as a pepper grinder for some fresh cracked pepper and some Himalayan pink salt. Now we're going to prep our pasta water by adding some EVOO, some extra virgin olive oil. I also added some Himalayan pink salt as well as a little bit of pepper for flavoring. Now I do have a cast iron skillet kind of heating up while I start my pasta to cooking. Both my pasta as well as my scallops are on medium-high heat. Now with your cast iron skillet, it's very important that you let it heat up before you put any oil or your meat or whatever you're cooking in it. You have to let it heat up. That is a very important step. So I have that heating up while I start my pasta. Here I'm just hovering my hand over the skillet to just kind of test the warmth. I do feel that it's ready, so I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil to allow that to heat up. And then after that, of course, I will put my scallops in. I think it goes without saying that you have to be sure that your oil is evenly, distributed to cover the entire skillet, because otherwise you'll have some parts of the pan that's not releasing the food the way that it should. So I think that goes without saying, but just in case, be sure that your oil is covering the entire bottom surface of the pan. If you're anything like me, you enjoy hearing that first sear of your meat or whatever it is that you're putting in your skillet. So I decided to allow you all the joy of hearing that if you do enjoy that just as I do. At this point, I am allowing my pasta and scallops to cook. Now, for your pasta, you want it to be what is called al dente. And what that basically means is the pasta still have some firmness. It's not overcooked and just like have this gooey texture. It's the perfect firmness. The way you test this out, me personally, I just cook it and then I take a noodle and I taste one noodle at a time just throughout the cooking process to get that perfect al dente cook. However, another weird trick that works is taking a single noodle and throwing it up against a wood cabinet, and if it sticks, then that means it is cooked perfectly. Now, I don't subscribe to this method because I just don't feel the need to throw my food up against my cabinets. However, just out of experimenting in the kitchen, I have tried it. It does work. So if you would like to throw your food up against your cabinet, if that helps you cook, then I say go for it. But like I said, I would just rather, taste it and determine the al dente from there. Now I'm going to give the scallops a quick test just to see the browning on the bottom. Nope, not ready. So we're going to put it back down. Now, a very important step when it comes to making sauce, whether it be red sauce or white sauce, is reserving some of your pasta water. And that will be used in making that sauce to give your sauce a very silky, nice texture. I am pouring the pasta cooking water into a measuring cup to reserve that for later. And then I will actually be putting my noodles in ice cold water to flash them and stop the cooking process. At this point, my scallops are seared to my desire, so I'm going to give them a flip to lightly sear them on the other side as well. Now, I won't make them as dark on the other side because I don't want to overcook them. However, I will give them a light sear. A quick tip for cooking with the cast iron skillet: when flipping your meat, it should release very easily on its own. If it is sticking, then that means that your meat is not done cooking on that side. It means that it's not done caramelizing for a easy self-release. My scallops are done, so I'm removing them from the pan, and I was about to pour the pasta water directly in the skillet over the heat, but I decided that that just wouldn't be a good idea. So I decided to remove it from the heat. I'm starting off with about 1/4 of a cup of pasta water to start my sauce. However, you can add a little at a time as you make your sauce, depending on how thick you want it or how watery you want it. That is just solely based on your preference. Also, I am not wiping my skillet down. I am taking all that residue to make a nice flavor. So no need to wipe your skillet down before starting your sauce. I'm going to return my skillet to the heat, turning the heat down to a low-medium setting to make my sauce. My first step is going to be adding the Mirepoix broth concentrate to that pasta water. As I blend my Mirepoix and my pasta water, I realized that the water is evaporating a lot quicker than what I would like it to. So as I stated before, you can add, a little at a time as you make your sauce. I did feel that I needed to add a little bit more, but that would be something based directly on your preference, and you will have to add it, to your own desire. Now my next step is going to be adding the sour cream, as well as the grated Parmesan cheese. Now, as I incorporate my Mirepoix concentrate, my pasta water, as well as my grated cheese, these next steps are optional but very, very heavily suggested. So I'm going to add about 6 ounces of butter to this sauce. That will just give it like a nice creamy, adding to that silky texture. I decided to put the spoon down and get me a whisk to blend a little bit better. These seasonings are not included in your home chef kit. Again, this step is optional but very heavily suggested. If you do want to add seasonings, it doesn't necessarily have to be the Flavor God line, but I am really feeling this line. So my first one was the lemon garlic. My second one is going to be my Cajun lovers, and then my third one is going to be my garlic lovers seasoning. You want to be sure to blend this up really well, just getting all of those nice seasonings throughout your sauce. I did feel like a little bit more pasta water was necessary, but again, that is strictly based on your preference. The sauce is done, so you're going to add your noodles to that sauce and then just kind of toss them in the sauce, coating them really well. Now you will take your heat from a low-medium heat to a strictly medium heat and add in your spinach. It doesn't take much for spinach to cook and kind of condense and wither down, so you'll add that in. And before tossing them, I added my lemon juice, my fresh squeezed lemon juice over the sauce, and then I tossed all of that into the sauce, incorporating that lemon juice flavor as well. Now you will allow that to simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes, allowing that spinach to cook down, but also allowing all the ingredients to take on the flavor of this beautiful sauce that you have created. And then you will also add your capers to your dish. Your pasta is pretty much done at this point, so the only thing left to do is to throw in your scallops and give them a quick toss in the sauce, and then it is time to plate. To give your pasta some texture, you're going to add on those crunched up croutons, and then also very optional, just for aesthetics, you're going to add on some parsley as well. Another garnish is going to be your fresh lemon. However, once plated, I actually squeeze my lemon juice onto my pasta because I do enjoy the fresh lemon flavor. At this point, we are all done. Bon appetit. I hope you all really enjoyed this video. I hope that you all found it helpful. Do use my code for a free meal, as well as if you want to just buy the ingredients from the store. This is a very simple recipe, so you can just buy it from the store and do it that way as well. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. If you have not done so, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell so you'll know when I upload new and awesome content. As always, be kindness, love, and light. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.